Alright, good evening everyone. Let's all take out our music and look at the sight reading piece. You may turn it over now. The piece is called Windmere. Let's first take a look at our key signature. It is in the key of E flat, so that means trombones. You have trombones, euphoniums, tubas, also flutes and oboes. You have 3 flats, that means you've got the A flat in there. Make sure you use third position, third valve. As far as clarinets and trumpets go, you have 1 flat. And alto, baritone, sax, you have no flats. So let's continue on with the looking over. We have the marking allegro, so that means we're going to be taking this at a quick tempo. Be aware that you will all start on a quarter note, and after that note, not everyone plays. Alto, tenor, saxophone, and trumpets 1, 2 plus French horn, you will continue playing, and the rest of you will join in with the ensemble, staggered through first few measures. So don't be afraid. Going on to measure 9, trumpets, you will take over the melody right there. Everyone else, you will have long notes. Please make sure that you stay under the main melody, but make yourself present. Don't need to play weak, just play with a nice soft tone to support the trumpets. Flutes and oboes, you are out here at measure 9, so make sure you be counting for when you do come back in later on. The melody does not switch, but parts do have quarter notes from time to time that move a little bit. It is okay to bring those out. Moving on to just before 17, make sure that you note that you do have a crescendo leading up into 17 that goes into a forte. Just keep that in mind. At 17, flutes, oboes, clarinets, clarinets 1 and 2, and trumpets 1 and 2 now have the main melody. Make sure that you are aware of when you do have differences between tongue notes and slurred notes, and make sure to play those correctly, such as in measure 19 and at the end of 20. Once again, we have support notes. Make sure you stay under the main melody and let that come through. At 25, the trumpets will drop out of the main melody. Flutes, oboes, and clarinets 1 and 2, you still have it. You're along with the alto sax. Make sure that you also note your dynamic marking there, which is a little softer than before. Moving on through the piece, the trumpets will rejoin with the main melody at measure 29, actually 29 with a pickup note. So be aware of that and be counting your measure rest. Let's see, what else here? So we go on to measure 32, just for 33. Once again, we have the same sort of dynamic marking leading up into a bigger note on the downbeat of 33, which everyone once again has that sort of quarter, and then you have to be counting through the measure because it's going to be quarter, rest, for some of you. Others of you have quarter, eighth notes, quarter, quarter, such as in the trombones, bass sax, and bass clarinet. So don't be afraid to play in the rest where the rest of the group is not. Moving along, we once again see the support notes now up in the flutes, oboes, and the clarinets, not the bass, and in the bass clarinets, although it moves a little differently. Make sure you stay under the main melody. Then we see the trumpets and once again the upper woodwinds take over the melody at just 430, pickups in the 37. So this will go on until the polka retard and the fermata. There at the end, I will slow down my conducting a little bit, so make sure you keep your eyes on me. and watch for a fermata and the release. We also have a caesura there, so that means don't jump into the next piece. I will give you a firm cutoff and then bring you back in. Alright, now sitting at measure, summative. Now sitting at measure 41, we are going at a slower pace, because it is andante, so it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, versus the andante, which would be taken a little faster, would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Flutes and oboes, you have the melody along with alto sax at the very beginning. Those who do have the main melody are a little louder, while the rest of the group who plays the long notes support. So make sure you stay under and play your written dynamic there, which is accurate. Once again, we see the crescendo, the large crescendo up in 49. This time there is no caesura there, so it will be straight into, there's a polka retard just before 49. I'm going to slow down my conducting a bit to allow that decrescendo to rise, and then we'll go back into the andante tempo at 49. At a tempo, the flutes and oboes and the trumpets once again have the melody, while the rest have the support notes underneath. There's nothing new there, except for we are back in E flat, which I did fail to mention that at the beginning of the andante there is a key change. Make sure that you see that coming out of the caesura from the first movement. You are in the key B flat now at 41. Keep that in mind, so there is no more A flats. So make sure trombones, you use second position, and trumpets, or baritones, you use second valve. Alright, go back to 49, and we will continue on past 49, up until the fermata and caesura. There's no retard there, so we'll go into it at the same pace we've been playing that section. With the caesura cutoff right there, watch for my firm cutoff. Now then, at 57, the high woodwinds have the quarter and eighth notes, or the main melody along with the trumpets again, and it pretty much stays the same up until about measure 61, and pickups into that, or pardon me, go a little forward of that to where you are now at measure 65, to where you will have emphasis markings. Make sure you play those emphases correctly. Time.